Let's look at the very right page. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Nerd Asylum, specifically to tonight's episode of Homeward, our not life to play, our real life. No, what's the name? The thing, an actual play live stream of Starfinder.
You'll get there.
I feel every session I get one thing wrong, and it's different every time, but I get something wrong.
That's
I
just
don't
life,
I
know.
mean, at
baby.
least we made it out of 2013.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Fuck you.
That took a minute for my brain to process.
Yeah, the time that we moved back to
Back in
2013.
2013.
Wow.
Before my kids were born. All right, moving on.
Moving on. So yeah, if you guys want to check out more about what has been going on with the other episodes, with the story and everything, you can go and check in our YouTube about it. But in the meantime, let's just jump to our little recap for this tonight's episode. So last time on Homeward, we had some time to explore and see what were doing our space adventurers, Nulodius, McPherson, and S. Nulodius, after seeing having some visions and some voices coming in and out of his mind, decided to take a spacewalk, which was interrupted.
Rudely interrupted.
Hold on. I resent that. I saved your life.
We will never know. We'll never know if it was going to be a safe spacewalk or a dangerous spacewalk, because it was interrupted. And in that moment, Nulodius had what seemed to be like a seizure, which none of the doctors were able to identify if there was a damage or anything, but seems to be that he passed that. And he had some more visions, along with some just the curiosity still on the back of his mind. In the meantime, during those same days, S has been doing what he does best, avoiding people and avoiding the direct contact with people, because he has been in contact with people, but just through notes, messages, and any other way that doesn't imply voicemail, calls, or face-to-face interaction. And manages to find more information about the ship, the system themselves, some more clues about probably what was the system before it got damaged by whatever happened to the ship and to you. That apparently someone has been tampering here and there systems, though nobody has figured out who. And S managed to unlock the files from Mac, files that were encrypted under a higher security device, and now are accessed and available for K to read, know about the profile and information about Mac, and possibly more about his own backstory. But before we jump to those particular days, we're going to be moving back a couple of days before. Actually, we're going to be jumping like 1 or 2 days before Noel's incident in the hangar. And Mac, you've been on the past days just still lending a hand here and there wherever there's need for repairs, checking up on the two young pilots of the Dralark, and just getting a bit of a better feel of how they handle the ship. They seem to know what they are doing, even if they kind of bicker between themselves and don't fully agree on some of the readings, but you feel they could at least keep the Dralark in a safe route whenever you are unable to be in the seat of the ship. And you've been helping getting the assembly back online, getting some repairs, but mostly trying to do anything to evade the memories that you had that were not pleasant, and looking for that comfort. You've been gravitating somewhere toward the hangar, kind of avoiding the chief operations of the hangar, as he's kind of loud and yells a lot to his people, trying to get the ships back online. And you'll be helping with the repairs for the Wanderer 1, as the Wanderer 2 is in good state. I've been checking on the Sky Medic ship, along with the other, what seem to be fighters that are around, that are kind of damaged. But among those days, just fiddling a bit with Wanderer 2, as Wanderer 1 seems just taking kind of a rest from all the repairs. Just there, when you hear approaching steps, and steps that are not exactly from someone of your normal stature or weight, even they sound a bit heavier, as you are not looking. You have your back toward those of the hangars. You're filling with some wiring and some systems of the ship.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They're heavier than normal?
Kind of. They don't sound like the steps from one of the other engineers that have been working in the hangar. They sound someone, heavier than normal humanoid.
Mac isn't gonna turn around. He's just gonna kind of gruffly go, "Can I help you? If not, go away."
Actually, I was hoping to have a conversation with you. You hear the voice of Krilltuan as he's behind you, not too far, not awkwardly close, but he's keeping a distance as you hear him as he stops.
Hi, girls. Yeah.
I got you a bit busy.
Just repairing shit.
Okay. I wanted to talk with you about something.
I figured from the part where you said you wanted to have a conversation.
Yes, specifically, so from what Balhiva told us and what we've seen, you seems to be the most qualified pilot from everyone in the ship, at least anyone that is capable of remembering they fly something. And as you may have seen those other ships, and he points, he would point at one of the fighters, if I recall the name of those ship diets. I share with you guys how they look, the ones with kind of a copperish, reddish tint.
They. I can't describe them, but I have the picture in my brain.
Yeah, it's also in
Sorry,
the
chat.
I'll look for it and reshare it, but in the meantime, I'll continue the conversation. We have those ready. At least some of them. We have at least 3 of them ready to fly again and use it to defend the Dralark. The problem is that for our pilots, our Skyfire pilots, they are having some trouble remembering how to fly. And I was wondering if you had time, and I do not take much of your activities, to help them learn how to fly them. They're, or for what we're seeing, they're like fighters for 2 people, one pilot, one co-pilot. If you could help the boys get their wings back.
Hey. Just context. Mac is just sitting, still trying to fix something. Just with a military officer looking down at him. It's going, "Can you teach my boys how to fly?" And he's just looking up going, "You're asking me, a former criminal, to help you train your pilots?" You are aware of that, right? That is something that you've been made aware of.
Has any of you let Bohibel or any of the other bridge officers about that situation? About Mac?
Not Kay. Kay hasn't had time.
Nope.
I don't like to bring personal issues into me and Vahibel's relationship. You're very good.
Because he's not talking about him, he's talking to Kraltwan, so.
I'm not saying Null wouldn't, but he hasn't yet.
Yet.
He will bring it up at the most emotionally devastating time possible.
It hasn't happened yet, but if
Good
he will,
for you,
okay.
Mac already brought it up.
And Kay wanted to talk to Mac before bringing anything up to the Skyfire Legion.
Because Mac has no memory of what we found out the last episode.
Yeah, it
Which
doesn't
is
have that.
great. This is hilarious at this point.
Oh no,
What?
I have so much information.
Yeah.
What do you mean by a former criminal?
Like, I'm on parole for something. Granted, I don't remember what that something is. Just know that parole is the thing that I am on.
And when any of you or any of your other friends would mention that, we've been just trying to keep the whole place secure.
Question.
Mhm.
Would Kreltwan have gone to Kay for anything this entire time? After Kay's bomb drop, I kind of thought they were avoiding Kay.
Does Kreltwan understand the meaning of parole?
No, he doesn't. Okay. So in terms of the parole, he does understand. And for the other, they haven't. Krilltron has been kind of like, if there's anything to be addressed with Kay, he would like go say it and move on.
Leave.
Megan would have been more like, he seems more emotionally reserved. But again, in terms of talking with you, I think the only like interactions Kay has with the Skyfire Legion would be Megan going with Kay and being like, "Hey, we have some people that might require some time with you."
Okay.
Yeah,
and that conversation doesn't lead into, oh, by the way, Mac's on parole. It doesn't naturally lead into that, so Kay would never have brought it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless directly asked.
I mean, not really at the moment. So you're saying that you're just God. All right.
Well,
So
it's
you
not-
No, this is news for me.
it was news for me. It's not like I remembered it. We're all working with the information as we get it. And hell, we probably aren't even the same people we were when we had our memories.
You see he stares for a while into the floor. He seems to be thinking, and you see he's tapping his foot. There's the cling sound of its claws from his feet hitting the metal floor as he's thinking.
I got back. Just Mac is like, okay, you do your thing, fixing stuff, waiting for a response.
Look, if there's a reason you were a brawl or you were a criminal, whatever the fuck it was before, when we get our memories back or we get more information, we deal with that. But you have helped people here. You have helped the ship move on, and as far as anybody knows, you're helping and you want to survive, right?
Of course. Don't we all?
So let's keep it this way. You don't tell anyone about what you wear. I will talk with Megan about it, possibly. He might say something about maybe keeping an eye on you. Gonna be honest with you, but in the meantime,
How big is Krolthwan?
so if I recall correctly, from general height of Dragonkin, they can be between 7 and 9 feet tall, just from feet to head, without counting a bit of the bit of horns they have,
Without counting horns and spikes. Okay.
and
Yeah.
a bit of the wings on their back, which he has mostly kind of trying to fold them
Yeah.
a bit behind. He doesn't have it like spread, but yeah, it's
Yeah, because he can't. We're inside of a ship, man. Don't do that. You're gonna break shit. But yeah, Mac is gonna stand up at this point and just look at him and go, "Whatever I did, I'm on parole and I'm serving my time on this ship. That's how parole works. If I needed you to keep an eye on me, I'd let you know."
he's staring at you directly, and there's a feeling again. Like you even I wouldn't say you need to roll for this, but because you even see it in his eyes, a moment of both of you staring at each other that is like unconscious tension from something else. You can't put a finger in it. It's a bit confusing, and he seems also like weird. And he shakes his head. Listen, yeah, you're right. Maybe we're now different people. Maybe you're no longer a criminal. Maybe you were not even a criminal before. Or maybe you were the worst criminal. I don't care. Until you cause a problem here. And in that case, I'm gonna come directly for you. But in the meantime, the ship needs you. You know how to fly. My legionnaires don't remember anything about flying. They're having a hard time. And as far as anybody is concerned in the ship, you're the best pilot. So
I'll see what I can do.
he extends his hand toward you. Like kind of offering to shake.
I stare at him for a minute as if I'm thinking, and then I'll very cautiously shake his hand.
His hand is big, and his arms too, so it's a bit kind of difficult to grasp around.
I'm
But
also
he-
6'7", so I would assume that my hands are not
Yeah.
tiny.
No, you're not tiny,
No.
but this is, they're
This is also a dragon.
yeah. This creature is basically kind of a half dragon creature. But
So,
when
you
he
know.
shakes your hand, it's not with aggressive firm. It's just like it's not even firm. It's just like trying really, really being friendly. And you say, all right, and if you need anything for them, let us know, so we can have their ships and our pilots ready.
Of course. Now, if
Nods
you
and-
mind.
Hmm?
Now, if you don't mind, I am trying to fix this thing.
Oh, when you said of course, and he lets go your hand, he walks away. Before stopping a moment. In 3 days, I'll be sending the first guys to you. If you want to check one of the fighters, just let the chief know so he doesn't yell at anyone that someone is touching those ships.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So, in terms of the next days, it looks like I think
Just
that the next
watching
day.
Faye freak out.
It's my fault. We're chatting.
I'm just watching it happen. I'm like, it's so great.
So, yeah, the next day, I think you were finished the repairs you were doing on this ship. Still thinking the thoughts that have keep your mind occupied too. But the next day, the null event happens, so it kind of distracts you for a bit, and you're like out of place for a moment. And but I would like you to roll a piloting check, but if you can add your intelligence modifier to this. Actually, no, it would be more of an engineer. Engineering would be better for this role. Just
So you want me to roll a piloting check? Do you want me to
no,
add my just roll an
just
engineering
your
check?
just engineering. It makes more sense instead of the weird thing I was thinking about.
25.
25. Okay. I will be sending you later on a bit of the stats for the diet, the fighter ships that are from the Skyfire. But I can tell you that at least from what you're seeing about this, yeah, they're definitely made for two people. And you do see that in almost all of them, either the pilot or the co-pilot seats are for a bigger size humanoids. And you have seen some of the Skyfire individuals, or at least people with that uniform, being around some of them diets, and some of them being Dragonkin. So it wouldn't take it too much to put 2 on 2 on. Probably they're designed to be flown by
Big giant dragons.
by a Dragonkin alongside with someone else. I don't think Mac knows about the thing of the Dragonkin, about the bonding they do with other individuals. So I don't think that's not information that comes to your mind yet. So
Give
you're
it
like,
time.
oh,
Let him talk to Kay again.
Yeah. Because we were in the room with the boyfriend conversation.
dragons and their boyfriends. Oh my god.
Dragons and their boyfriends. Androids and their boyfriends.
And then there's
This
Kay
shit.
trying to help out everybody. And Null, who's trying to feed all the dead to the grass.
Hey, the non-judgmental mom.
Wow. Of course, you're not gonna apologize for who you are, Faye. Of course.
The adorable polycule.
Dirt's dirt.
So, let's say that around the day, at the beginning of how it's gonna be, like Tuesday, more or less, of the second week, or the equivalent of a Tuesday in Starfinder. I still haven't found that information. I'm feeling intelligent enough to make up names for the week. So you do receive a group of like 6 Skyfire legionnaires, and you do see that there's Riforian. It's actually 2 Riforians, one what is it? A human, and the rest of them are 3 Dragonkins, and they seem to be walking in, or at least arriving in pairs, kind of situation. And just for like quick explanation, like Riforians are like kind of like elongated elves. They don't have much hair. They have kind of short hair, and some of them look like of a bit of a what's the word from tan complexion, and their ears are very like not only long, but they also get very very thin. Whenever I find a picture in a moment, I'll share it so you guys have a better idea. And the Dragonkin in general have this. They go from this grayish to a pale blue, pale green, or very just in general gray scale of colors in general, from green, blue. Some of them also like a very pale gray dash red, and yeah, they are there. And I would say you have already checked the diets for a bit, so you more or less know how to fly one. And as you're talking with them, there is this sensation of like, have you seen them before? Not these individuals, but like their uniforms, their presence. There's something that just keeps in your head being like, roll me a piloting check.
Oh no, guys. Mac might remember before you tell her, but this might be really bad. Mac might remember before you tell her. It's a 36.
Okay. So in general, you give them a very good explanation of, very Mac way of explaining things and interacting with people, but you're not only confident, but very step by step of how they have to fly, how do they have to make sure the ship goes in, and you don't take anyone into the ship. Like you're like, no, you're still young, you still can't fly this, but you do help.
No, none of you know what you're doing yet. Look at the whiteboard. This is how we do this.
Yeah, you go very.
The whiteboard knows all.
You would surprise anybody being like, wow, this person knows very well the step by step, and you're being very technical, and you know your stuff. You know how these things are flown, and you're taking this very seriously. And
what I'm built to do.
Yeah, but by the end of it, like, some of them arrive with a bit of a like cocky, confident attitude. But after what you told them, they're like more like, okay, no, I still don't know shit. And they seem more in line, and even to the point of taking you far more seriously than you were before. And in the distance, you do see Kurltron just like watching every now and then. And by the end, that you're like, okay, you guys can go rest. You just do see that he just at a distance nods at you before walking back into the doors to move outside of the hangar. Oh, not outside, but back into the other sections of the ship.
Like, if Kurltron's going outside the hangar, I'm gonna let him.
Sure, he can walk out of the hangar.
I'm gonna let him.
I don't get to walk out.
But that's because he's too far away for me to stop.
Yeah. And question, by this time, this is the day that Kay got information. Would this be the day that Kay sends a message, or?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Mac gets, because it'd be in the early afternoon, because Kay spent the entire morning perusing this document and doing a little bit of research. Okay, a lot of bit of research.
That just says Mac.
Kay will send Mac a message. Doors unlocked. come to my room. Bring coffee.
He'll arrive and bring coffee. They call Sekren out for a second. But go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay.
But yeah.
So you come in, and first off, there's music blaring that Kay has to turn down. It's very, like, if you were depressed, it would make you feel better a little bit. Type of music. Like, they're listening to inspiring words. And Kay gestures to a seat across from them. And you see that they have a cup of tea and a data pad. Kay is not emo.
He is not.
Kay is just angry and needs moments sometimes. Yeah, you don't love me, Faye.
Well, she's just listening Contage fungi music. Anyway.
Sounds weirdest Max eclectic playlist.
Realistically, Kay has a crazy playlist that's mostly music at this point. That's like non-verbal music for the most part, but she's got some stuff that's got words. Anyway, Mac, how much do you want to know?
That is a good question. How much do I want to know? My ear itches. Ah. Matt will probably take pretty much what Kay is willing to tell him, because he knows that she knows probably what's best.
Okay. So, if you haven't already figured some of this out, your resolve for things is impressive, to say the least. You're very stubborn, in a good way. But
Mac hasn't even sat down. He's just
Mac,
standing there holding.
Yeah, no, like she starts
What
talking,
are we even
like,
doing?
They start talking while they're looking down, and then they look up, notice that you haven't sat down yet, and it's just like, will you just sit down?
Oh. Okay. Sit. All right. What? All right.
I have your file.
Oh. Okay.
When I said how much do you want to know, that was in character.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so how much do you want to know about yourself at this point?
You know, if anybody else was hearing that question, it would be strange, but considering we know nothing about ourselves. Honestly, Kay, I don't.
I say this because
I don't know.
I genuinely feel you're better off without some of this information, but it's also your choice on whether or not you want it. Sorry, I'm gonna mute myself for a second. Can you not yell?
Well, there may be some things that
coming over
I
my
might be
headset.
better off not knowing. And it might be good that I forgot, but maybe I should remember as well.
Well,
But maybe I'm not ready right now.
I'll talk and you tell me when to stop. Let's start with your arm. You said before you had memories of having a different arm. And you were kind of freaking out about it.
Apparently.
So, you were a part of a pirate crew that attacked the Drawlark. In combat, you lost your arm. We saved you. And in an agreement with the ship's captain, you would help the ship in return for a new arm. Shall I keep going?
Yeah.
To be honest with you, when it comes to the Legionnaires, if I were you, I would trust Kreltwan a little bit more than Megan. Kreltwan's been in your corner this whole time. Something I highly disagree with in terms of Megan's thought process is he wanted to have you reprogrammed to be quote-unquote good. I don't think that that's right, and neither did Kreltwan, from my understanding of these notes. I love how everyone's like, I'm taking notes now.
I'm taking angry notes. Thank you. Getting out the red pen.
I'm also rereading through some of this stuff. You are not a new android by any stretch of the phrase. Even when you and I were in sessions, you didn't really have memories of, quote, childhood, or what would equate to you being a newer android. It is suspected you are from the original android group. I can't confirm it for sure, but that is what my notes suggest. You are also assigned a Legionnaire and a regular security officer rotating out to kind of keep an eye on you throughout the ship. And as far as anything else goes, that pirate crew was terrible to you. Psychologically, for sure. I suspect physically as well, but one can only speculate. Sorry, I'm also reading.
It's okay. Based on shit I've remembered and how I joined that crew in the first place, it's not a surprising fact to learn, okay?
Well, a lot of the remaining crewmates of that pirate crew, the information's been deleted. Whether it's missing or purposefully deleted, I'm not sure. But it seemed that captain ruled by fear, which I also heavily disagree with. But once we got you away from them, you started showing signs that you were not a bad person. And as far as anything else is concerned, we were trying to rehabilitate you to be a part of our society. And you were doing well. So whether or not you want to continue on that course is up to you, but you're an old enough of an android to know that your programming is a good solid part of you in terms of wanting to complete your assignments. I don't know if that's still a thing, or if the reboot of everybody on the ship, for lack of a better phrase, has changed that.
I have no idea.
Kay starts tapping with a finger. Just sighs for a minute. I'd like for you to continue to be one of the people that comes to see me, not just as a friend, but as a patient if you desire. I still feel I can help you in more ways than just listening. Aside from anything else, I'd like you to keep the reprogramming comment between us, and if it comes up on the ship, I will fight for you to keep your personality the way you are.
Oh, I'll fight for it too. Trust me. Quartwan asked for me to train some of the skyfighters to pilot ships, actually.
Like I said, he is more on your side than you think. At least he was.
I hope so. He seems like a decent person.
The little interactions I have had with him have agreed with that sentiment. I'm scrolling to make sure I didn't miss anything because I got a lot of stuff.
I'm not surprised. I really just give Sakrin vagueness and said go.
They may want to reassign the security officers to you. I'm not sure. If they even remember.
Talked about that.
Oh.
Actually, didn't know that I was on parole until I had mentioned it, which now seems like a mistake, but, can't take back the past, and has actually decided against it as we're all, just trying to survive here. Why impede progress?
Your survival instinct is strong, but you need to learn how to live on your own too. Away from the pirates, and just as a person. There's more to life than just surviving. You can't let yourself be miserable all the time. Sorry, I just read the note in chat that you guys were hoping for K-pop.
I did too.
No. That's a hard pass on K-pop.
I just saw the Discord message.
Oh my god.
Oh god, that is a terrible joke.
I will crash the ship if that happens.
No,
I'll make sure.
Kay listens to like Infected Mushroom, and that's why he said fermented fungi
Contagious
or
fungi.
contagious fungi or whatever.
Fermented fungi.
I don't remember what she said. I'm sorry.
Contagious fungi.
Mac listens to stuff like the Interrupters and the Aquabats.
Kay also listens to a lot of heavy metal.
But
Anyway,
yeah, Mac will like look at you and said, "I'm surprised you've noticed." Honestly,
it's
I
my
try
job.
to keep that. Try to keep that as far away from the others as I can.
It's easy to see in others what we have in ourselves, too. I give great advice. I seldom take it. And Kay's gonna smile, and you just see the mandibles kind of stretch in this kind of creepy way.
It is definitely creepy. Perhaps you should take your own advice, Guy.
I'm working on it. I've found a friend who likes to read and suggested a good book. Oh, they are also doing the weapons for all of us. So if we ever need an upgrade or to change it up, we can go see... Was it Varsage Sekrain? What did we name him?
Barsash.
Okay, yeah. We can go see Varsage and see about an upgrade or anything else we might need if we go planet side again.
All right. Yeah, I probably should change out this needler pistol for something else. Didn't do anything against that bird. Keep eating the bullets. I'm still angry about that bird eating the bullets.
You still killed it.
Does not mean I'm not angry.
Fair.
But I can go see him, see if I can get something better than this.
I will go with you. I have to tell him what a good book reference he is, and hopefully get another book reference.
Sounds like a plan.
Are you okay? I kind of overloaded you, didn't I?
In a way, mostly you just confirmed a few things that I'd been suspecting for a while. Like, wherever I was not the best. Since the screeching incident, I had suspected that something had happened in the past. And the memory of my former captain, beating me down until I joined his crew helped to confirm that. So did you just now. But knowing why I'm here and what I was doing just helps me realize that I don't want that. If I can do anything, I want to be not that.
Well, Sekrain, question. Do androids age to die, or did they just like eventually stop making their parts and then they go obsolete? type of thing? How does that work? Because I know very little. I only know what you sent me about androids.
I've
Yeah.
recently read Android lore, like right before this session started. I can kind of answer this.
Because Sky was not aware of how old Mac was until right now.
Well, Kay's gonna tell Mac that he's probably X years old.
Very.
But
Very old.
It's so. I don't remember any point specifically about if they age in particular. Uh,
Not particularly.
yeah, no, mhm.
What they do is their bodies, they can have like malfunctions and stuff like that, as they are comprised of nanites or nanonites or something like that. Something like that. And but as long as they keep their repairs and upgrades, if they're doing upgrades with the current released models, they can live practically indefinitely.
okay.
However, it is socially acceptable to stop about at a century to allow for other souls to inhabit the bodies and have their turns.
Okay.
But Mac is very old.
Mac.
Well, at least your model is.
At least. Who knows if Mac is the first one.
This body that you have, and based on the notes that I have, if you're interested in knowing your age, and Kay's gonna stop talking for a second and kind of look at you for your response.
It's okay.
You're roughly 150 years old. If my notes are correct, mind you.
No. This version of me, I guess, is 150. That's how it works.
And you notice that there are other books on the table, and they're about androids. As Kay was frantically doing their research on androids.
Yeah, I think both would agree, at least with information that possibly Mac's body itself, it's around that age, but without having a certainty of what were the memories before. I mean,
Yeah.
it's it's like either Mac is 60, 150, like body itself might be around that age. Who Mac is
So
Ash, it's
Mac's actual physical form is around 150.
Yes.
possibly with some of
But Mac himself, the program known as Mac, Amos Macintosh, it could be 10, and we just have no idea.
It could be just, even with considering all of that, it could be that Mac itself just began existing the moment you awoke from the amnesia in the ship. You
have no idea.
No idea. You have the memories of the one before, or at least you before, but now knowing that extra information, I'm kind of recalling some of that, because again, I'm going with the idea of you're an android, you would know about androids. You're a Lashunta, you would know about Lashunta. So you're like, oh yes, that something happens. So now there's like more questions of how much of that is really you, how much isn't, how much is recent. Like it's
In some of the memories, they refer to me specifically as Mac, and Mac has referred to himself as Mac. So at least up to the point of him joining the crew, Mac knows he's Mac. Or that's psychologically him placing himself there, because that's a memory. So who knows? Have fun, theory people in the chat. Not even I know.
All right. So yeah, Kay is also gonna assume that S probably knows all the same information, but Kay is purposefully not going to tell our Lashunta friend because it's just going to spark more fights. That is the reason that Kay is like, you know what? Nope. I'm gonna relock
That's
this
what I
data
think.
pad.
Part of the reason they fight is just to fight.
Probably, and Kay recognizes that, but Kay is also not going to add fuel to the flame of the Mac and Null
No.
fire.
I mean,
Not sure if it's a fire. It's just
It's a dumpster
siblings
fire.
pissing each other off.
it's the dumpster fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody needs a hobby, and Noel's hobby is
Everybody knows how he's Matt.
oh,
That is a very sus quote, right? It can be interpreted so many ways.
Everyone needs a hobby. Mac's my hobby.
Kay's hobby is food art and reading. Everybody needs a hobby. Right,
Oh, I need to clean this water bottle.
So if you're okay, shall we go meet my friend? Or gather up the others and then go meet my friend? Because I'm sure they would like upgrades too.
Yeah. Let's gather the others and go meet your friend.
So yeah, I'm gonna quickly get a different data pad and message Null and S and say, I made a friend who can upgrade our stuff. If you want to come meet them, come to my room. And then we'll just wait and
Honest
see
God.
if they show up.
I thought we were just gonna. I made a friend, and that's it.
it's like that kind of friend that texts you about something, and they just like
There's no
It-
context.
there's no
No
context, there's no continuation. You're just
Okay.
like you need to give more, and you ask them for more, and just like no answer. Yeah. So, mind if we take like a minute, quick break just to refill water, coffee, anything that we require, and then we come back to do this quick meeting with Barsach.
Farsage.
Barsach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember now.
Pronunciation.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talk about how to pronounce that name, and I'm just like,
We had a 20-minute conversation about name pronunciations.
yeah.
All right. We'll be back. We're live again.
Hello.
I'm
Thank you.
still eating
Hello.
Oreos.
I mean, Oreos are good. Oreos are important. Oreos, I wouldn't say they're life, but then again, that's my opinion. But welcome back. We're continuing the story right where we left. As Kay was having a very personal and very intimate conversation with Mac about their past, who they are, where they come from, and in a way, a bit of who they are now and what they want. And Kay sent a message to our other two individuals of the group, and yeah, you receive a message of what Kay said about this individual can get you sorted with new weaponry. So are you guys gonna move to Kay to meet her at her room? Or are you guys doing something else in the meantime?
Quick question. This is 1 day post attempted spacewalk, is that correct?
Yes, it would. No, it would be 2 days. 2 days after.
Okay. I'm operating under the assumption that Null has been retained in the infirmary up to this point.
I would say it would retain you for maybe half another day, but the thing is, the more studies they make on you, the more they see that you're okay. Definitely, they do find the situation that you are. Among the people in the infirmary, among doctors, there's also individuals with magical capacities for healing too. And one of them suggests, and you hear this because they're talking to you directly there, they address that they think that you are in a state, in a limbo state. You're not alive, but you're not dead. Your soul, while affected by whatever happened, they're not sure in what state it is, but it's tethered to your body. And that tether is enough to bring you and keep you alive. So even with those initial readings that they get from you, that seems to be your now healthy state, and they just can't point what caused the seizure or if there's any damage, and apparently you are okay. So probably after another half day, they will be like, let's just make sure he goes on and keep tabs on you. They ask you to fill some data of how you're feeling, to know more about you as a Borai, which they still don't know what it is a Borai, but even sometime they will figure out. Or remember, and also to know if there was any damage.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so he's not on like a 72-hour hold or anything.
Not at the moment.
Gotcha. Scratch what
Not
I
yet.
told you, Faye.
Okay, then we're good.
In that case, he would have spent all of his time in the infirmary being as unhelpful as you can imagine. Because he does not feel as though he's done anything wrong, and when he's eventually released, he is sulking up until he gets this message. So that's the vibe he's coming from, but he will head straight there.
S probably is woken up by the message because he's been operating on a nocturnal system for the most part. As he's been sneaking into Kay's office at night. And he will send a message, all like lowercase. Some of the words are kind of swiped together of, give me a few minutes, I'll be there.
Okay.
He does go.
Okay. Kay does relock the data pad with a new password. Not
That'll
something
stop me.
not something that'll stop S, obviously, but something that can't just be picked up and
Must have
read by
stopped
anybody.
Null.
So something that
Password to
once.
stop Null.
Just Null.
So this security meta that definitely will not stop S, but definitely would stop Null.
I love that's
Honestly,
the
probably wouldn't
scale.
even stop Mac.
It would probably also stop Mac, but I don't know Mac's computer capabilities.
They're not nulls.
Yeah.
Bad.
Better than no.
I don't
So,
think I
like-
can even roll computers, honestly.
Can
You
I
have
do
your
computers?
average TikToker, you have your average scientist, your average internet user, and then hacker man in this group.
Who's the average TikToker?
I don't know. I was just saying, like, anybody.
No, I
that
need
uses,
to know. You can't
I
just
really-
drop average TikToker and then leave it.
I don't know.
I've got a guess, but that's purely for
I was just
visuals.
Okay,
and-
obviously.
I was just saying, like,
What?
people that use the internet. I really don't think any of you would be the TikTokers. If anyone would be TikToker in the group, would be S, but it wouldn't be like type that is like, oh guys, like, it's more like, hey, I found this cool trick about this, and just like soft voice that tells you like an actual good tip of
Hacking
something.
ASMR.
Yeah, obviously K
Yeah,
is
I
mental
know.
health TikTok.
Anyhow, does K where are they being summoned? Where does K tell them to go?
to Kay's room.
K's room. Okay,
Yeah, K's room.
cool.
Yeah.
Null rolls up wearing a purple silk robe. His beard is unbraided and messy for the first time you've ever seen it. He just looks disheveled. Is a good way to put it. And grumpy.
Yeah, you would. I think the one that would take less time to arrive, depending how much time they take to get themselves not suited, but
Ready?
not ready. Yeah, ready. Would be S, because you're residing in the crew quarters section. Meanwhile, Null might take longer. Again, depending on how much he gets ready and how much. Apparently, not much care, just like clothes.
Yeah,
that's
no.
it.
S sleeps in his jeans most days.
Oh, not the sleep jeans.
S,
Sleep jeans.
S is not in a good state of mind most nights and just conks out in his sleep jeans. Maybe one day that'll change. But
Get silk jammies from Null as a gift.
right? You
He
can't live
probably
like
does, he
this.
just hasn't found them.
But no, he just throws on a clean shirt, grabs his glasses and data pad and things that he needs, and heads out.
So who gets there first, DM?
S did.
Okay.
Yeah, S would arrive first.
I like
There
how
you go.
S dressing still takes less time than Null rolling out of bed and coming, because it tracks.
It
makes
does track
sense.
also in terms of who is closer to
Yeah.
each room. S would be closer, and I imagine Null is just like he takes his 15 minutes to contemplate that, being like, I could just not.
Mm-hmm.
You could just not, and Kay would not be offended.
I'll come.
The promise of new weapons is always nice.
Yeah.
There's just a moment of the fight flashback with Mac in Null's mind at the prospect of new weapons.
God, I gotta get a better sword.
God, I gotta get a better whacking stick.
A whacking stick.
So S would knock. He wouldn't just hack open the door and walk in.
It's unlocked
Yeah.
at the moment, but yeah, Kay comes over and opens it.
Yeah. We waiting for Null.
Yeah.
I never got a notification that Null was coming, but I assumed so I figured we could wait a couple more minutes, and then if he comes, then we can all go together, and if he does not come, then I can take him later.
All right. And S is gonna walk in and just quietly assumes that K has shared the information that he had unlocked.
I mean, you see the data pad on the table.
Yeah, I know. He's just not saying anything.
Mac knows that you're the one who unlocked the data pad, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Who told you about it? Yeah,
So Kay just sits and plays music again. Not super loud, but just softly to fill the void of silence. And it's just chill music. Like, the initial bit is a little growly, so they change it to just melodic stuff. So it's not just like Sheeran death metal.
I always think of Ed Sheeran every time someone says Sheeran, like the species. I think of Ed Sheeran, and I just thought of like a metal cover of "Shape of You" by Ed Sheeran.
Hey, phase people, if you could just give me a Photoshop of Ed Sheeran, the Sheeran, that would be
there
so
is one.
helpful.
It's in the channel.
We had that put in there.
together.
Yeah.
Can we just get that as
You know, I'm sure I could find
as
an
a
Ed
thumbnail on
Sheeran
YouTube
song
for one of ours?
that has been turned into metal. I am positive I could find that. Just
I
wait.
can make a request for like Photoshop from my husband.
Oh, please.
Ed the Sheeran. Yeah, it's like I want to say like 10 minutes later that Noel rolls up. He does not knock. He simply opens the door and walks in.
Power move.
Mac
Good
is gonna
morning.
immediately notice how disheveled you look. He's gonna stand up, put his arm on your back, and walk you to the bathroom.
Excuse me.
Okay.
He's gonna hand you a hair tie and say, "You should here, use this to fix yourself up." This is me being nice, by the way.
In Kay's bathroom, now that you guys have gotten there,
Oh God.
Tell us about the bathroom.
I'm
Now
got
I'm
my
curious.
pencil ready.
oh, you don't need a pencil for this. This is just something I thought of to be funny. There's like a type of wax that is specifically used for shells and exoskeletons to make it shiny, and it touts that it makes it harder to penetrate.
Ooh.
So it's like a stiffening thing. It's effectively wax for a surfboard.
Which I have sitting on my desk right now. Yeah.
We love it.
Faye, don't.
That is partially how
I know the joke
Kay
you want to make. Don't.
takes care of themselves, which would be absolutely useless to any other species, except maybe his surfboard wax.
Faye, don't make the joke.
I don't know what joke you think I was gonna make. I'll
I'm
post
done.
it in private
Please
chat.
continue.
Great, this is the same place as mine.
I thank you, sir, to take your hands off me. I'm
He
perfectly...
did as soon as he could, guided you to the bathroom, handed you a hair tie, and went, just making yourself look nice sometimes makes you feel better.
What do you
As
find
I've
my
been
wind
told?
tousled look distracting?
No. Just as I've been told by others, apparently making yourself look nice can potentially make yourself feel good. I don't know, whatever. And he'll just wave his hand and walk away. And if you want to make yourself look nice, then whatever.
Kay
Just
will
muttering
lean
a-
over to S and go, "He was listening."
No, like just mutters under his breath, like, "Well, I feel just fine, actually." But he pulls his hair up. Only looks marginally better because he is still wearing his pajamas. But
When you
I
come
mean,
back
so
out,
is S.
when you come back out, Kay apologizes for waking you up.
Oh, I wasn't sleeping, but thank you.
You
Shall
look better
we?
than you did when you were having a seizure.
I feel as though that is not quite the compliment you mean it as.
I'm
I will
trying my
hiss at you
best.
both.
Is,
Trying my best, no.
as someone who did just wake up, let's not hiss.
That was me trying to warn you if I was going to.
I appreciate the warning, Kay. I do. I'm just trying to stave off any sort of reasons for hissing as he looks between Null and Mac.
Maybe you should
Mac
walk
just hands you
between
his
them.
undrank coffee.
Thank you.
Shall
Well.
we?
Yes. Lead on.
Kay will take them. And while they're walking, Kay will tell them about how they met Varsage.
Mhm.
And that he seems like a very nice dragonkin.
Vesk.
He's Vesk.
Vesk. Sorry, I
Yes.
forgot the name for the dragonkin for a minute.
No. He's not Dragonkin.
Yeah.
He's a Vesk.
He's
Yeah.
not dragging his best.
Yeah, there's the Vesk are more like crocodile.
Kay would have said Vesk. I am sorry
Yeah.
for saying the
You're
wrong
good.
thing.
You're
You're
good.
good.
I just got the notes. I love Varsage.
You're just clarifying for player knowledge, just in case.
It's cool. We love you.
I love all these characters.
But,
So
and Kay would ask, because I forgot to ask this already. Did any of you have any questions for me about anything I might be able to help with? I've been doing a lot of research in my downtime.
As far as personnel files, ship information.
Personnel files. I've also done a bit more research on what our races individually are. And I do know that I know how to speak Lashunta. If I can remember how to speak proper words. Rather than doing this and they're going to motion that they're still talking to you in your head.
Right. I suppose on a similar note, I mean we've discussed it before, this vague telepathic ability I have, which I understand is an inherent Lashunta trait, but it's not as strong as one would think. Do you know why?
I imagine if I broke an antenna, I would have similar issues.
That makes good sense. Did you come across anything in my file as to when or how?
Oh, your antenna broke. No. That specifically wasn't in there. I apologize. Perhaps
Well,
it
thank you.
happened before the entrance of the ship.
Possibly.
It happened when the ship, everything happened.
I would recall if the antenna was whole before the explosion, right?
I would say yes. Not in very good details, but you would have recalled that when you saw him across the door, the antenna was already incomplete. But Roll intelligence, just to like a kind of a memory check, just to see if you recall any extra details.
All right, so that's a 13 on the die, plus my modifier makes it a 16.
You're not completely sure about it, but you think that when you saw him, the antenna wasn't looking like recently injured or bloody or something. It seemed that like you see him now,
It was an old injury.
Yeah, like an old, aside of the burned, the extra that now Null has.
It wasn't during whatever happened on the ship. And S just takes another drink of his coffee, a larger one, as he's got 2 sets of explosions anytime he closes his eyes right now, as Kay brings up the conversation topic.
I see. Well, I thank you for that bit of information. It occurs to me that it might be relevant to various goings on, but that is a bridge for another day. Weapons,
Yeah.
though.
Yes, weapons and such.
So you direct yourselves, Sada Boy trying to say the phrase, toward the armory section, which would be a bit in the lower levels, in the levels below the recreational section. The living section, recreational, and engineering subsection 1. Armory and training facilities are on the decks right below those. And there you do see there's a more present activity for both the security team, the security officers, and the legionnaires, as you see them going a bit around there. And as you get closer to the armory itself, you at this moment do recognize 2 familiar individuals directing people around. The large muscular form of Kreltuan, and next to him Megan, as they seem to be like organizing stuff, some teams, and mostly they're moving toward the training section, and inside the armory you do see again mix of the security officers with Dralog uniform, the Skyfire legionnaires, and a couple of other officers from other sections, some couple of civilians just talking with them, like bringing certain equipment that they may have with them when they woke up. And among all of them, Kay, you do see your friend Barsash, this kind of physically imposing Vesk, except for his expression of confoundment and not being happy where he's right now in the armory. But you do see that he's checking on a weapon from one of the security officers. You see that it's kind of a rifle, like a kinetic rifle, just projector rifle. He grabs it and seems to, like, for a moment, I think Kay would notice even more as someone that is that kind of observative in terms of behavior and attitude. At the moment, he's just hands shake for a bit as he closes his eyes, takes a deep breath, puts the rifle in the table, opens it, and begins quickly working on it, disassembling it like he almost like Lego pieces.
Okay.
Like it seems very easy for him, just like retire a piece, move it clean, and adjust. He finished with this officer, gives the rifle back, and remember that that one just do shot by shot. It's not automatic, okay? If you do that again, it will get stuck again, and you'll have to do more repairs with it. And we are not in the moment for those repairs. So just please take care of those. Okay? Go on, keep training. Oh, okay. Oh. You just see, like, he gets very excited and like, but I'm unconscious about that, and just like sulks a bit in his place.
Kay will walk up kind of ahead of the group a little bit. I really enjoyed the book you gave me.
Oh, really? um, uh, it's good, right? Like, you're a bit sarcastic, but I think the ending was a good one. Like, more lighthearted than I expected for most of it. But yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed.
We'll have to go to the library again sometime and find other things that maybe neither of us remember reading. And
Well, that's basically everything, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
These are my friends, and I don't know if we're going to be going to a planet again anytime soon, but I thought maybe we could take you up on your offer to try to help them with their weapons. I'm content with my stun stick gun thing. I don't really want to hurt people. I just apparently can scare them if I try hard.
Well, I agree. I prefer if nobody hurts anybody, but some, like, if we have to deal with again Walking Dead, I don't think we can scare them. I don't know. I didn't. You know what? If anything, I maybe look for a more potent stun weapon for you. But yeah, so
That's just
also,
me. They have different preferences.
sure.
I'll fucking kill a man.
Same, honestly.
tried.
though. I'm okay. I have
Oh my
probably.
Okay, sure. So you,
Kay physically face palms and like covers up their eyes for a minute with their hands, and it's just like, oh my
Great.
god. This is a great first impression.
so
We're
you,
great at impressions.
you are the guys that when planets either be helping, right? Like Megan and Keltron told us about you for.
Well, it's refreshing to see our reputation precedes us. Yes, we are the intrepid crew that went down planetside to retrieve those crystals for the drift engine.
That would
Yep.
be the closest way of describing them. Yes.
The crystals for the drift engine.
Okay,
Everyone,
well,
this is Varsage. Be nice, or I will scream at you.
A pleasure to meet you.
And it's a distinctly pay and immediate threat. Hi, I'm Mac.
hi, well, she already said my name. Yeah, hi. Well, if we are just here restocking things in the armory, getting everybody set up with something that functions. It's just been chaotic, and then with the initial damage. But if you require any upgrades, so we can do some modifications in it. Apparently, I know how to do things. But yeah, with the assembly now ready. Oh yeah, you were working on assembly. I think they mentioned you around, and he points at you, Mac. Thank you for
Oh, yeah.
getting that up. I will help us making new stuff if we have the materials. But yeah, so whatever you need.
It actually needs a new small arm, but
Oh, like semi-automatic, like a
Yeah, actually, like exactly that.
Let me. Like, he goes to like a locker behind him and um puts the code to open it, and you see inside. You see various weapons. Most of them do look a bit more like advanced, but there's damage in them. And he does pull out one that looks usable in a good state. When he grabs it, he's like,
He holds it by like 2 fingers.
Yeah, he's like, like
Fingers, like, ew.
places it down and grabs some munition for you. I would say you would get 2 magazines at the moment.
It's 18 shots, but yeah.
You never know. And so you know how to use it, right?
What did you guys do?
I was being bad.
Ah.
All right.
All right.
Is there a way for me to like telepathically give him like that feeling of calm while he's doing this stuff? Like not really say anything, but transmit that emotion, or is it strictly words?
No, I think you can. Again, this is a conversation you and me had about like
how does telepathy work?
Yeah, just in general how telepathy works, and I think you can, and it would be
like just to him specifically, like I break contact with everyone else around me.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out what would be. I would profession plus your charisma. Your I think you have your you have proficiency in your profession,
right?
Which I would say you have the one for the food art and the one that you have more that is being a therapist. So yeah, it's just I don't think of.
Can it still be diplomacy?
You know what? No, yeah, sure. Diplomacy. Let it be diplomacy. It's just.
So that's 15 plus 5 plus 19 is 39.
It's good job. That's so
That's maximum, and that's higher than what I could possibly roll if I crit a pilot check.
Hey, Faye. You gotta,
as good as you are computers, I'm good at making people feel better.
You're probably gonna need something to beat that record at some point with computers. But yeah, you do focus on that, and you feel in the first instant that there's a contact. There's a bit of a jumps from his part, both visibly and mentally. But when the connection starts, I think this is something you guys have talked a bit before, like a bit of interaction that you can do that, and that's a way to calm and help people.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's better than the mental shushing noise, which Case started out doing with people.
Yeah, and I think with that role, I think he would open for you, like share of what's in his mind, and you would see a memory. This one is not of the blurriness that has come with many of the ones that you are recovering. This seems more of the recent, fresh memories. And it's in this same section that you guys are, the armory. He's unable to move, stuck with something. And in a section where there would be munition, there's an explosion. A couple of people getting caught in it. It's an unpleasant sight, an unpleasant smell as there's burning and him being in a panic. as more munition is going off. And going back into this, like you see this room, and you even see the metal panels that haven't been replaced yet, where that happened.
Okay.
And you see that there's that mixed situation of, I am professional with these things. I know how to disassemble them. I know how to control them. And the fear of what he saw and how close he was to that. And he calms down for a moment, placing the weapon in front of you, Mac. He just looks at you and gives a nod, doesn't say much. Before going back to you, Mac. So I take you know how to use one of these, correct?
Yes.
Perfect. So if you require more munition, I really hope you have to use the 2 magazines, because we're also kind of limited in munition, but if need be, come over here and we can restock you or give you more in case you need to go on a mission or planet side. And if we can get the better guns repair, or even this one upgraded, just come over here, check every now and then, or I give up a call to Kay,
Anytime. But Max actually gonna give him the nuclear pistol. Say, don't exactly need this anymore. I hope I find a use for it in some way, whether it's for parts or somebody else.
I'll see about that. You see, like, he goes into a pad and registers information about it. What about you two?
Oh, I'm fine with my pistol. I just thought it'd be nice to know if I need to come here for an update or an upgrade, who I need to be with.
I'm here. Yeah, and if you don't see me around with one of the others, but apparently, based on the information, I'm the one in charge in here. So apparently I'm supposedly an explosive expert, but I really don't want to deal with those. But if need be, just as long as everybody just remains calm in the ship and nothing bad happens, just so everything's okay. There's no need for any of that.
Kay will pat him reassuringly on the shoulder and be like, they won't need that.
Yeah.
Mac is just leaning against the counter, watching Crosswan and Megan.
S is very much just not looking in their direction at all.
He's being casual about it. Like,
Okay.
My friends are doing shit and I'm not.
You do see that they're talking around, and they're addressing the different officers and legionnaires, and also what seems to be the officers inside of the Skyfire rankings. And you do see this a bit of a weird contrast between how Megan stands. It's kind of in a very formal, I wouldn't say rigid, because he was not tense, but definitely more
Militaristic.
more militaristic, more well put. Meanwhile, Kreltuan seems a bit more energetic. And there are moments that you do see that it's at times there seem to be between the two of them, they're giving themselves looks, very quick glances, and you don't see that they even mention words, but they're passing each other things that there's some sort of connection.
Mm-hmm.
which you, by this point that you have trained some of the pilots, you have seen that seems to be happening with others that are working next to the Dragonkin individuals.
Have I spent enough time around Kay and Null to understand that this is probably some sort of psychic communication?
I would say possibly. You're not sure how deep or how, if it's the same way, but you're like, there's some weird shit happening over there. Probably similar to Queso. But overall, a part of the tension of, you're training good guns, be fucking careful. And if you don't remember, don't touch that. Part of that very strict nature that, a military...
If you don't remember how it works, don't touch it.
Mm-hmm. They're just talking with the ones that seem to be more wiped out in their memories to teach them, and they're taking them at least care at the moment, making sure everybody is stock and ready. And eventually you'll see Megan does retire and exit out this section. You don't know where it goes, but yeah. In the meantime, Versace does look toward you, Nolodius. And you, what can I help you with? What is your specialty? What?
Well, I happen to currently be learning through my abilities, which, as far as I can tell, are magical in nature. However, and he like pops his cane up into his hand and then just like unsheaths it into sword mode. I'm so sorry. Still getting over the flu. I came out of nowhere.
About to go full in character.
No, that's me dying. I'm probably just gonna have a dry cough for the rest of the winter, which sucks. This has done me quite handy. If you could just do you have a whetstone of some variety? Just give it a good sharpening up. Maybe get a little bit more than a 1d3 bleed on it, but we'll see. Other than that, I would appreciate if you could avail me of a sidearm of some variety, because really right now, if I'm not magically inclined, if I'm not feeling too magically inclined at the moment, I'm limited to poking distance, and sometimes I think it would be wise to be a bit further away.
Actually, if you could, may I take the cane?
Yes.
Sword. He takes it, carefully grabs it. Oh, it's a bit brittle. Probably took some damage. Did it, by any chance, were you next to explosion?
Like dead stare as yes, I was.
S just looks down.
Yeah,
Even
definitely
Mac turns on that moment. Like, okay.
You see, he's kind of haven't noticed the burns in you. He's like very focused on the sword.
I wonder.
Yeah, there's some damage into this. Does look like kind of that. We're getting some materials back from that last expedition that went out in the other system we were a couple of days ago. So I think we could make you, if not get a better blade, at least make a new one, perhaps. It will take us a couple of days. The assembly is kind of, full in just everybody's requesting a thing. Maybe I can get something for you a couple of days. And sidearms, well, pistols. Like, you know how to shoot one?
I've read a book on the subject.
Kay slowly looks at Null and is like, "Oh God."
Null feels like the eye contact from the side and continues. But if you offer a firearms course, I would love to learn.
If you're too busy. I realize that you've had a lot of going on with what people are asking for you. No, I can teach you how to shoot.
So can I.
Well, I can't think of a way I would rather spend an afternoon than with my two favorite gentlemen learning how to fire a gun.
You know, the thing is, safety first. Especially if you are in a flying ship in the middle of the void and you need to be sure that your shots are going where you want and not where, could be a problem.
Ricochet, I've read about it.
I'm glad you have read about it. And he hands the sword cane. Player knowledge. You'll get a new one a bit later for you. But yes, and in terms of weapons, well, when you two, or either one or the other two, either Mac or S, or Mac and S, or Mac S and Null, or whenever any of you come around for teaching Null, I can lend a gun. But until we know that you are good with it and you won't hurt yourself or others or the ship, then I prefer not to risk you. But
sensible.
Just once that is set, with pleasure, we can lend you one. You guys are trusty, and you've been helping the ship, so yeah.
Voice you'd be who I'd come to for ammo refill, yeah?
Yep, and we are also looking about armor to get our boys set up because some got damaged, and we need to protect people just in case more undead pop out of dead.
It'll be okay. Thank you for your help today.
Yep. Yeah.
And Kay will suggest a book for him to read that is about meditation and like chilling out.
Ooh.
Ooh. Okay. We would very gladly take that.
Chicken soup for the
recommendation.
Recommendation.
I saw you struggling.
I forgot the word. Like I was gonna say suggestion, and then in my head was like, "Yeah," because suggest. I was like, "Yeah," like. That's why the gesture, like, frustration.
That word was almost there.
Yeah, I was missing the whole beginning of it. Yeah. So in terms of player knowledge, weapons that are up to your current level, unless they are like weird, like very rare, very high rarity or something like that, or very special, can be obtained in the armory along with armor, because I want to be creating each an NPC for each thing. So yeah, weapons and armor with them.
Okay.
Yay.
I'll take a look at the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it is 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it's unseen.
Dang it.
Oh man,
I wanted to signal to the range.
I wanted to continue playing, guys.
Wow.
Dang it.
There was still some.
Give
there
no
was
gun and see
stuff.
what happened.
There
I
was
derailed
stuff
you. I'm sorry, Sekrain.
Oh no. It was good. I had nothing prepared for him, so.
I should have warned you.
Yeah, no, you tell me, and I was just like.
I couldn't tell. That felt very rehearsed.
All right.
Yeah. So I think for the next session we'll continue on the last days for our individuals before the storm retakes, or maybe the storm will retake a bit, a bit earlier. I don't know. Things
He'll
have
know how to use a gun. It'll be great. He won't shoot any of us.
Okay,
It
I've
immediately
got
points it at Mac.
I've got an unregistered
please
gun in my bedroom that if anyone needs it.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days? An unregistered gun in my bedroom?
It's not real. I've got real life concern. Oh my god, it's all in Starfinder
FBI.
for legal purpose.
For legal purposes, this is all in game, in character.
Oh my
Character gun. Character gun.
god. Oh my god.
Uh,
I have a lot of
So-
explaining that I'll have to do.
if,
Oh.
if you guys enjoy what we're doing tonight, please join
Your
us
husband's about to
on
walk into the room.
join us on our Discord, in the YouTube, in the Facebook, in the social media, and what else? What else? If you want to catch up on past episodes, you can find it in the YouTube of the Nerd Asylum, along with our other shows, including NA by Night, and soon-ish, the next season of Anthropocene. And there's someone that wants to make some announcements, so take it away, Faye.
Hi guys, I'm Faye. I know I didn't talk too much tonight, but if you want to hear me talk a lot more, you can head over to Little Witch RP. That is where I run all my games most days of the week. You can find out all about us at our website, wildewitch.com. That's WILDEWITCH.com. We've got all sorts of games running throughout the week. We've got a few actual plays that we've got. Burning Veils on Tuesdays weekly, and then Fridays bi-weekly, which will be this week. We also have a weekly Dragonlance campaign that just started, and a YouTube that just went up. So check that out. And I've got other cool things, but you can find it all at wildewitch.com.
Also, as a quick announcement, soon, starting on March 9th, Homeward will no longer be bi-weekly, but will be
3 days a month.
3 days a month, 3 Thursdays a month, and then a pause. So we'll be doing more of Homeward in the next months. So, but in the meantime, we'll be catching you on February 23rd,
23rd.
At 8? Yeah.
20 and the 3rd. 23rd, thank you. 23rd for the continuation of this is the crew slowly getting back themselves up before things.
Before
With
shit hits
that,
the fan, because he's trying not to allude to shit hitting the fan, but it's gonna hit the fan.
It's gonna hit the fan. We know it.
We gave Noel a gun.
I don't have a gun yet.
No,
Yes,
but you
the
have
operative
what?
word.
What do you have? Like, Call the Void?
What is it called? I think it's called the Grasp of the Void or something.
Grasp of the Void, yeah. You can summon the Void,
All right.
and probably later you'll be able to summon
Embrace of the Void. So
No.
there's that.
Yeah.
So much
yeah.
better.
In the meantime, take care, everybody, and stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Bye.